All right, everyone, welcome. Hold on, one second. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had some reverb going on in the studio. I had sound coming from like 17 different speakers, so I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to go mute my stuff. So, anyways, we're all good now. We're all good. I was like, whoa, you guys probably couldn't hear it, but it was gonna bother the hell out of me. This microphone rejects noise too well, so you probably didn't even hear that there was like extreme echo in the studio, but took care of it. How we doing, guys? Man, oh man, we got some exciting stuff. I even got the old PlayStation light up sign out today, guys. You know, we got PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, it's an interesting day. It's kind of exciting. You know, obviously for a lot of Nintendo fans, you're not going to give two shits about what's happening, but a lot of gamers will. After all, it's not every day that we get some sort of hardware reveal. You know, this doesn't happen all the time. It's actually quite rare in the console space. The last time we had any hardware reveal was like what, PlayStation 5 Slim, and then the Switch OLED, right? Like those are like the last two sort of like hardware reveals we have. But even those are just like revisions, right? Those are just like, you know, quality of life improvement systems. In terms of announcements of hardware that's actually more powerful in some sort of way, we haven't had anything announced since the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. That is it. That stuff happened in 2019 and 2020 respectively. Like that is, it's been a while. That's what I mean by like, we don't get announcements of hardware that has any sort of power improvement very often. Nintendo hasn't announced one since 2016. You know, Sony and Microsoft not since 2019/2020. And here we are. Like, it has been a long time. I know some people aren't like super stoked for PlayStation 5 Pro. There are people out there that are kind of like, I don't really get it. I don't know what the big deal is, yada, yada. And dude, I totally understand that standpoint. I'm not here to defend it and be like, oh, you should buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. We have no idea. We haven't even seen it yet. We're about to see it today. Probably have price points, release dates, all the information that we want. But if you think about it, like, we just don't get this very often. So I would be lying if I didn't say I had a little excitement today. I have a little excitement today. I like announcements, and this isn't like the PC world where there's like new iterations and new versions that are more powerful every year of hardware, like new CPUs, new GPUs, you know, faster RAM, all the stuff. Like in the PC space, this stuff is happening cyclically. It's happening all the time, multiple times a year. But when it comes to the console space, consoles are much more static, right? You get a system and it just kind of stays there. I guess if you want to argue the Steam Deck, you know, if you want to argue like the Steam Deck is sort of like a game console, even though it's more like a handheld PC, I guess you could argue that was announced more recently. But in the end, when it comes to consoles, it's just rare. It's just rare to have a new, more powerful system announced. Yes, this is not a PlayStation 6, of course. This is a mid-gen refresh of the PlayStation 5 because, believe it or not, PlayStation 5 is about halfway through its life. We're in year 4. PlayStation 5 has now entered the halfway point in its life, and this is when you drop hardware refreshes. And when we say a refresh, it's not the same system. It is a more powerful one. Now, supposedly same CPU. I don't know. Mark Cerny will get into all of the technical specs today because that's what he likes to do. Sony does not shy away from how powerful the system is. They get into all the tech specs. It's one thing I like about Sony and Microsoft's approach when they announce systems. They actually get into the technical specs. Now, Nintendo doesn't do that. Nintendo says, hey, don't worry about what's in the system. Just play the games. Sony and Microsoft are always like, no, the specs matter, also play the games. I like that we just get the specs from the horse's mouth. So we're gonna know everything, no rumors or speculation. Today we will know everything we need to know about PlayStation 5 Pro. Do not just make an informed purchasing decision this holiday, but also just to see if they have done it again. If they have, later Dylan, if they have made us want to buy it again. Remember, 20 million people or so bought a PlayStation 4 Pro. How many will buy a PlayStation 5 Pro? I have no idea. I'll probably be among them. I'm already leaning, towards like I'll probably end up getting the system. But if I'm very unimpressed today, then maybe I don't, and I'll just go get a used PS5 and call it a day. So we'll see what happens. But I'm optimistic. I know it might not seem like it. I know we talked about hypothetical $700 price points and how that's not great and all this other stuff. I get it. But and how it only feels like the PlayStation 5 generation is just getting started. Why do we need a Pro model? Well, this is like what it feels like every generation with PlayStation. I think there's a couple of things we have to recognize with PlayStation. One, PlayStation is a third-party platform for the most part. There are first-party games. I am not dismissing Sony's published games. I'm not dismissing their exclusivity contracts, which are with third-party companies and third parties' owned IPs. Like you had the Final Fantasy VII stuff and Rebirth that came out this year were great. Not a Sony game. It's a contract they signed with, obviously Square Enix, but in the end, it's always been more about the third-party games. Like, what's the most hyped, biggest game coming to PlayStation 5? You know what I mean? What's the biggest, most hyped game coming to PlayStation 5? What's going to be the biggest game of the PlayStation 5 generation? Grand Theft Auto 6. GTA 6. Whether it releases next year, 2026, doesn't really matter. GTA 6 will be the biggest thing on the system. Third-party game. What's one of the biggest games on PlayStation every year? Call of Duty. Like, this is just the way it is. Third-party games are the biggest deals on PlayStation because that is the foundation of their platform. Their foundation was when PlayStation 1 came around, take the third-party games Nintendo is getting, convince them to not put them on Nintendo and put them on us instead. And they did that. That's why you had to get a PlayStation to play Final Fantasy VII. Like, they did that. They created demand off third-party games. And they've been that way ever since. They do have obviously more first-party games, more Sony-published games that come out now than they did, 20 years ago. But those are not the driving force behind PlayStation. As much as some of you might buy PlayStation for God of War or Ratchet and Clank or Astro Bot or Spider-Man or Last of Us and all that stuff, like, obviously they make really good games. But reality is those games don't come out extremely often. And most people don't buy a system for a single game. They need a plethora of games to make a $500 purchase worthwhile. And you might go, $500 purchase? Nate, you can get an all digital for $450. Well, I don't know where you're at, but if you throw taxes on, it's $500. I know we ignore taxes a lot because taxes are different state to state, country to country. But pretty much anywhere you go, it's $500 with taxes. So I'm talking about USD. So if you're going to spend that kind of money on something, usually it's not going to be just to play one game. You're going to have a plethora of them. And the plethora that people enjoy on Sony tends to be third party. And by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. To be clear, there's literally nothing wrong with third party being the driving force behind PlayStation. Third parties make some absolutely amazing games. They also make some flops, but so do first parties. So we just get to sit back and enjoy gaming for what it is. And I'm very excited for the prospect here of PlayStation 5 Pro. And I really, really hope they deliver today and convince me to buy it. As a Nintendo person, I'll still buy the damn thing. I'll still buy it, no problem. Let me see here. Let's get to a few ads in the stream. Remember, it is revealed at the top of the hour. We got about a 9-minute or so presentation from Mark Cerny at the top of the hour. Lion Star says, good morning. How's it going, man? Day one Astro Bot Defender says, hey, man. Hey, how's it going, dude? Glad you enjoy Astro Bot. Can't wait to to play it myself. I've done the demo that came with PS5 because I've had a PS5 before, but I can't wait to likely pick up a Pro and play Astro Bot later this year. That Mango Man says, sadly you won't be here for the reveal. That happens. We all have lives, right? The Popping Gamer says, geez, I just looked at the live chat for the PlayStation. Why is it so dang toxic? Why is everyone here so chill compared to everyone else? Dude, if you go to Nintendo Direct live chats, they're also very toxic. What you notice, what I've noticed in every popular live stream anywhere that isn't a content creator, the chat's pretty toxic. I don't know why. Whether it's a Nintendo Direct, a PlayStation event, an Xbox event, any like non-content creator led event, the Apple event yesterday, the live chat was just toxic as shit. I don't know why. Trolls, I guess there's just trolls on the internet, and content creators care more about their community, and so they have better moderation. I think that's pretty much it, right? I think that's honestly the difference between like PlayStations and Xboxes and Apple, because like Apple, all these major corporations, they don't want to ban anyone, they don't want to block anyone, because they just want people to subscribe and see their stuff. So they don't care if the community's getting really toxic in the live chat. They just don't care, because they view every single one of those people as consumers, potential consumers of their products. Whereas content creators, we care about the community. So for us, we have moderators like Joycey J running around in the chat, and others to kind of take care of massive toxicity. Like we'll let something go for a little bit, but if it keeps getting pressed, you know, then we drop the hammer and stuff, like Joycey had to do last night. But you know, we won't let that sort of toxicity into our community, nor will most content creators.
Looks kind of different now.
So because of that, sorry, it was Goofy talking there. Good old Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, we won't let that into our community, and most content creators won't either. So because of that, yeah, we just aren't gonna have this. If you wonder why is it so chill here compared to like the PlayStation's chat, because PlayStation doesn't care to moderate their chat. That's it. They just don't moderate their chat. That's all. So, let's see here. It's got nothing to do with PlayStation in particular, you know, and the PlayStation community in particular being toxic. Again, it happens on Nintendo Directs, it happens on Xbox events, it happens on Summer Game Fest. All these major corporations, they just don't moderate. And so the trolls run the day. All right. Dylan Manning, who did dip out, but in case he watches this later, says, how will the PlayStation 5 Pro reveal affect the reveal of the Switch 2? It won't. It won't have any impact. And he says the PS5 Pro better not have DRM. Well, all the systems have some form of DRM. It's just about how rampant the DRM is. Anyways. By the way, I hate DRM, but like it's been a reality for a while. Turn off your internet and watch how many games on your system you can still play. G already oh, by the way, guys, for those that watch our normal streams, we don't do song requests during event streams. You still can super chat and support the channel and all that. There's no drinks, there's no super chat. The day stream, you know, we're chilling, we're getting ready to react. You can still support the channel, but we don't do anything too crazy. We're just here to have fun and talk PlayStation today. On this stream here, we are here to talk PlayStation. Giordi Lad, do you think Nintendo games have a chance to get nominated for this game? There's no Nintendo game that's come out yet that will be nominated. I think the only game that has a chance is Echoes of Wisdom, so we need to wait and see what the reviews are. But that's going to come down to review scores. It has to review in the 90s to be considered, so. That Mango Man, will you play Black Ops 6? Do you think it'll be good? I think Black Ops 6 actually looks really good. I'm half tempted to pick it up. You know, there's part of me that's like, I'm waiting to see if there's a Switch 2 version, but honestly, I might end up just picking it up anyways. Or I actually am a Game Pass Ultimate member, so I could just play it on my Xbox Series X without. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I'll just play it on my Xbox Series X. You know, I got the box for it down there. I'll just play it on the Xbox Series X. Yeah. I'll just play it on there through Ultimate. It's on Game Pass. So I was like, am I really gonna spend the money? I'm like, I don't have to. I have Ultimate. Brarius. Hi Nate. Would I buy the PlayStation 5 Pro if it's $700? Because $700 plus taxes for me is gonna be like $800. I'm not gonna say no, but what I will say, if it is $700 before taxes, they would have to convince me pretty hard that it's really worth, like that it will meaningfully improve the games I already play and future games quite a bit. Especially when you can get like a used PlayStation 5 all digital for like $350 to $400. Sometimes you can find them, if you're lucky, on like Facebook Marketplace as low as $200, but that doesn't happen as often. You have to convince me pretty hard that the improvements, like, I care about graphics and I do care about frame rate, contrary to what people believe, because I'm a Nintendo person. It's not the most important stuff, no, but it doesn't mean I don't care about it. So they can convince me, but it has to show significant improvements for me to be like, man, I'll still spend $700. I mean, look, it's $100 more than $600, so we're not talking about like a big difference in the grand scheme of video games, and we're talking about a lot of money. And look, in the end, video games is an expensive medium, unless you just play free-to-play games or like cheap indie titles. If you're a AAA gamer, gaming's expensive. So, is $100 gonna put me off? I don't know, man. Here's the thing. I have to see the presentation, you know? I mean, no matter what, a PlayStation 5 is being bought in this house between now and December. There will be a PlayStation 5 purchased in this home between now and December. Today is Sony's opportunity to sell me that it should be the Pro. Basically, that's what I'm just saying right now. Between right now, today, and the end of December, a PlayStation 5 will be purchased for this house. So, Sony, convince me that I should be buying a Pro. Convince me that that's the version I should get. We'll see. Dude, can you imagine, like, so I don't know if any of you guys shop on QVC, but like they sell video game consoles on QVC and you can do them in like 3 payment plans. What's fascinating about that 3 payment plan stuff at QVC is they never just sell just the system. So they'll bundle in like $400 worth of shit. Most of it that's kind of garbage. Shouldn't say most of it's garbage. I guess it depends on the bundle. But a lot of the cheap accessories they throw in are like not good. Guess it's fine if you're buying it for a kid. You know, you don't want to buy them expensive accessories. Let's see here. Do I have a collection of GameCube games? Nope. Let's see here. The Nintendo project says, do you think they will have a new game announcement to display the new capabilities of the system, or just upgrade the old games? Yeah, look, I think they're going to show a lot, mostly just upgraded games or upgraded future like games coming out this holiday and stuff. I do think there'll be one game, and maybe I'm nuts, but we're dealing with Mark Cerny, right? Mark Cerny is their chief head of hardware at PlayStation, so it makes sense that he's the one presenting things, just like it would make sense if what's his name presented the Switch 2. Koizumi. Koizumi is Nintendo's hardware guy, so it would make sense if Koizumi presents Switch 2, just like it makes sense that Mark Cerny's presenting the PlayStation 5 Pro. But Mark Cerny loves a particular IP more than any other at Sony, and that IP is Knack. You guys remember Knack and Knack 2? I could see Knack 3 being a showcase today. A game that, you know, they know isn't going to sell super well, but can showcase the hardware. So Mark Cerny loves Knack. He's huge into Knack. He's made that very obviously publicly several times. He's helped develop the game. He's big into Knack. So I could see Knack 3 being a showcase game today. It might be the only first party showcase game outside of showing upgraded. Like they might show, you know, Spider-Man 2, upgraded visuals, or God of War, upgraded visuals, like God of War Ragnarok. They absolutely could do that. But I could see Knack 3. I could see Knack 3 being shown today. I don't know that it will be, but it could be as like a showcase. I think it's mostly going to be third-party games shown off, which makes sense. But I'm gonna say there's at least like a 25% chance that Knack 3 is shown today. Remember, today's mostly about the hardware, so anything they do show has to be about showing off the hardware. And Mark Cerny likes showing off hardware with Knack, so let's see what happens. Could the toxicity become from children, as kids don't care about the small stuff, they only care about small stuff? What? They don't care about small stuff, they only care about small stuff. Well, not only does that sentence contradict itself, I would say most of the toxicity comes from kids. I have 3 kids. I watch them play video games. I watch how they react. Well, they act like little shits. They act like little shits. It is what it is. I've watched so many kids play. They all act like little shits. They all love trolling. They think it's funny. They love memeing everyone. They think it's hilarious. You know, you grow out of that at some point in your life, but kids are not terrible. Whoa, now, whoa. Kids aren't terrible people. They're still growing. Their minds are still forming. They're just not mature. So they troll and they meme. They find it to be fun. I think it's fun to a point, but there's a point that it's like too far. And kids don't really understand when you're going too far. You know, they just kind of go with it because they think it's all hilarious. And if they upset anyone, it just makes them laugh more. You know, they don't really understand that like there should be some lines drawn in the trolling sand. Kids don't really understand that. And I shouldn't say all kids are that way, but many are. The Poppin' Gamer says, can I just say something? I really freaking love you guys. This is my favorite community to talk about gaming. I know it sounds corny as hell, but I seriously love all of you. Well, that's very nice of you to say, man. We've tried very hard over the years to foster what I believe is a really solid community here. You know, all the rules I've had over the years, and you know, the primary rule always being don't be a dumbass. But you know, we've had to expand our rules a little bit more as we've gotten more popular, just because, hey, you know, things happen. Our rules are still pretty relaxed, to be honest, but we're not that strict here. But hey, we you know, we gotta crack a lack a little bit to help make this community the best it can be. Day One Astro Bot Defender says, I saw a lot of people crapping on Astro Bot for having only 8 to 12 hour playtime compared to the Mario games playtime, even though it took only 3 years to make. Well, I haven't played Astro Bot, so is it actually 8 to 12? How long to beat? Hold on, there's a website for this. howlongtobeat.com. Let's go Astro Bot. Let's see what it says over here. Whoa, why am I in all caps? Turn my caps lock off. All right, so on How Long to Beat, it says main story is about 9.5, completion is 15. Okay, yeah, so it's on the shorter side. It's definitely on the shorter side. Definitely shorter than 3D Mario games, which is fine. Mario's been doing it a long time. Let's see here. And is it a $70 game? Looking on the PlayStation Store right now. Haven't even looked at watch. So it's 60. Okay. So they're not charging 70, they're charging 60, which is still, you know, a lot. I would say that like the price doesn't determine how great a game is. Like you can have a $20 game just be a 10 out of 10. So I don't think the 8 to 12 hours. I think the fact that it's $60 is what makes people like critical of that. If it was 40, they'd probably be less critical. But I also don't think that just because you're 8 to 12 hours, you can't be a $60, $70 game. I think the quality of the experience should determine the price point. And the main criticism I've actually heard of Astro Bot, and I venture to even call it a criticism, some people have said, and again, I haven't played it, that it's too easy. But I don't know who those people are. And I haven't played the game to determine it. Mario's also relatively an easy game just to beat start to finish. The challenge comes in being a completionist. So I have nothing really negative to say about Astro Bot. 8 to 12 hours sounds totally fine to me. I will gladly pay $60 for a high quality 8 to 12 hour 3D platformer. No problem in my book. For me, I ain't got any problem with that. So Necro Banana says, my dream game reveal here would be a Bloodborne remaster that also comes to PC later. That would be sweet. I don't expect PC to be brought up at all today. They're going to focus on trying to sell Pro. But Bloodborne remaster, I get it, dude. That game, like, look, Sony remasters a lot of stuff. I just don't know why Bloodborne hasn't happened yet. You know? It feels like Bloodborne should have been remastered by now, but instead they had to, you know, remaster / remake Last of Us Part 1 twice. Within a few years of each other. Like, I feel like Bloodborne could have been done instead, you know? But what do I know? I know they got to work that out with From Software as well. Let's see here. Thanks for the $5, by the way. Go ahead and update our total. We're at $5 today. All right. LAJ35 uses a member chat saying, yo, Prime, I just want to say thank you for all you do, man. Don't stop grinding, brother. Also, pray for me because there's a hurricane coming here tomorrow. Oh, man, I hope you're all right. I hope everyone, all your loved ones, everyone's okay. No one gets actually harmed. I mean, like, people are going to lose homes and lose other stuff, but as long as no one's, like, personally injured, that's what I hope. There's no deaths and stuff like that. Take care of you guys yourselves. You know what I just realized? I gotta get some like PlayStation t-shirts or something, man. I don't even have one. Maybe I'll get some Astro Bot merch. That's probably the way. Get some Astro Bot merch up in here. Let's see here. Hi, Nate. What's the deal breaker on the cost of the Pro? Look, I'm still willing to buy at 700, but the deal breaker would be if they say what the system is, like they talk about the specs, because they're going to talk about it. The deal breaker for me would be they talk about the specs, and then they go to show the games. And they show, oh my gosh, here is, you can now play Spider-Man 2 in quality mode at 60 FPS, right? And you go, okay, that's cool. But then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it is. It's taking games that have like the multiple modes, like you have quality and performance mode, and now quality can do performance mode. But that's it. I'd be like, am I willing to pay like $700? Again, that would assume it is the higher end, the 700. Am I willing to pay? Like, performance mode's fine. Performance mode still looks good. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I'll also say this. If they try to sell me that PlayStation 5 Pro is an 8K gaming console and all games are in 8K, dude, I'm totally out on Pro then. It ain't powerful enough for 8K. They need to stop pretending. So what could they show to make me buy it then? Show significant improvements. Not just taking performance mode and making it now 60 FPS into 60 FPS into quality mode. Have 120 FPS in performance mode on the games that have it now. Double that frame rate as well. Oh, also, by the way, show actual advanced features. Show ray tracing at levels we haven't seen it yet on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, show me things that actually make the games better. Visually. Because, look, that's what they focus on, right? Visuals. So show me a reason to get a Pro that's going to be a visual upgrade over what's happening with the current PlayStation 5. And I don't know if they can do that, but good luck. I hope they can. Because I want to buy it. I'm a customer ready to open my wallet, is what I'm saying. I'm ready to open my wallet because I'm buying a PlayStation 5 either way between now and December. So, again, I'm ready to spend money, Sony. Now convince me that this is the one I should spend it on. Let's see here. Trying to get to some of the ads here. You'd rather get a PC for 700? Yeah, especially if you go with used components, you can build a pretty compelling PC for 700. Chat and Nintendo Prime. What if after 42 minutes, Sony reveals PlayStation Portable 2 instead of PS5 Pro? Yeah, no, that's not happening. Not today, anyways. Yeah, they'll probably show off PSSR. They'll probably talk a lot about that. That is their like upscaling custom FSR solution. It'll probably come up a lot today. Why people saying PS5 Pro will be $200 more than the PS5, the PS4 Pro version. The PlayStation 4 Pro version launched at the same price as PlayStation 4, and then they dropped the prices of PlayStation 4. The reason they're saying PlayStation 5 Pro will be like 600 or 700 is because Sony keeps raising prices. They're not going to be lowering the price of PlayStation 5 today. They're going to keep it where it's at. They keep raising the prices. So they're definitely going higher. We just don't know how much higher. Dwayne Davis says, what's up? How you doing today, buddy? I got a question. Do you think the Switch 2 might be in trouble because the PlayStation 5 Pro? Yes or no? No, man. They're not even releasing around the same time. Pro's coming out this holiday, Switch 2 sometime next year. I don't think there's going to be any and Switch 2's a handheld, PlayStation's not. I don't really think there's that. Like, they do compete with each other, absolutely. And they are the two biggest game console platforms out there, right? PlayStation and Nintendo. Xbox has kind of fallen off a lot. So it's like PlayStation and Nintendo are the two top dogs in the game console space. We're getting back to the 90s, baby. N64 versus PS1. Except at this point, Switch is like the PS1, and PlayStation 5 is more like the N64. By the way, the PlayStation 5 is way more successful than the N64 was. Also, the Switch is way more successful than the PS1 was. So, but we're kind of getting back to the Sony versus Nintendo days. But no, I don't think either one of them really negatively impact each other. Let's see here. The Nintendo Project. What if the PS5 Pro is a Wii U type situation and the Portal is the new controller? I mean, it wouldn't really matter because the Wii U, if they would have just released like a tablet as an accessory to Wii, it would have been fine. They didn't do that. Wii U is a whole new generation. So PlayStation 6 would have to do something like that for it to be just like, what are you doing? But that's not what this is. It's a mid-gen refresh. So if they did that, it's like, okay, they just don't sell as much of them. It's whatever. Firesoul wants to know, do I think we can get GTA 6 footage? Look, GTA 6 is obviously the most hype game coming up. We were supposed to supposedly see more GTA before the end of the year. Maybe this is where we're seeing it. It might be at the State of Play instead of, though. Like, there is reportedly a State of Play at the end of the month. We'll be live streaming that as well. That might be where GTA 6 is appearing. So I can see them maybe not talking GTA 6 because GTA 6 sounds like it's like a year away, right? So I can see them maybe not showing GTA 6 here, but then doing GTA 6 at the State of Play. We have a 20 pound, right? Is that pound? I'm pretty sure I got that right. Maybe I'm wrong. I always get the symbol for euros and pounds incorrect. Jamie Camp saying Dream arcade cabinet with PC emulators. Dream arcade cabinet. And you have PC emulators on it. Yeah, I mean, oh, is that like your dream? Like you want to build an arcade cabinet and put a PC in there and then you just have emulators for all the systems? Yeah, that's pound. That's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah, that's actually, there's a lot of people that do that actually. They make like their own arcade cabinets with a PC and then they emulate all the systems on it. That is definitely something that people have done. And if that's your dream, man, build it. There's lots of guides online for it actually. A lot of people have built custom arcade cabinets that use PCs that emulate everything. Yeah, there's like a lot of custom projects like that out there. You should definitely look into it and see what the cost for all that is. I mean, you know, obviously the PC is going to be how expensive a PC do you want to go with? Like, what are you trying to emulate? But, yeah, man, there's a lot of projects. There's a lot of custom projects like that. There are a lot of templates out there Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. That's a really big one today. Thank you, Jamie Camp. That ended up being $26 USD. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the stream. I mean, look, we're top of the hour, guys. We're not that far away. 23 minutes from now, the PlayStation 5 Pro will be revealed. Let's see here. Birdman says, did you see Bill Billiken's tweet about 5 new Switch bundles? I did not, but that does not surprise me. What did I tell you guys like a month ago, 2 months ago, last week? Literally, what did I tell you guys? I told you Nintendo's gonna flood the market with Switch bundles. Nintendo's gonna flood the market with Switch bundles. I don't know why this is like shocking to anyone. You know what I mean? I don't know why it's shocking to anyone. Yeah, I see the tweet right here. Here it is. It says, looks like we now have a full picture of what Nintendo is going to release in 2024, at least in Europe. Multiple bundles, including Switch OLED, and Switch Lite consoles are on the way. Yeah, no shit. That's what I told you. That's what Nintendo's going to do. They're just going to have a piss load of bundles this holiday. They're going to try to create value during the holidays by packing in a shit ton of games. Like, duh. You know what I mean? So let's look at what the bundles are that are coming to Europe here. So no less than 5 new Switch products are about to release in Europe. All right, so we're gonna pack 1's gonna be a Switch Lite with a game, unknown, price 219 euros. Pack 2, another Switch Lite with a game, doesn't know which game yet. Price is gonna be 219 euros. There's gonna be a Nintendo Switch Sports Pack, which contains a Switch console with the neon blue and red. So we're talking about a version 2 console. It'll be pre-installed with Nintendo Switch Sports plus 12 months of NSO. That's going to be 299 euros. So that is 3 packs. Pack 4 will be the Nintendo Switch OLED model that contains the white color plus a download code for the game Super Mario Bros. Wonder plus 3 months of NSO, which is this is one we talked about before, for $349. And there's going to be another OLED bundle. The game included is unknown at the moment, and that's gonna be $350. And yeah, they'll probably have similar sort of bundles going on in the US as well. Regarding the first 3 Switch and Switch Lite packs mentioned above, the announcement date is scheduled for the 12th or the 13th, so this week. So we'll hear about it in a couple days, and the release dates are going to be next week. The OLED packs, the exact day is unknown. Pack announcement format, can't be certain about this, but we imagine that the announcement pattern for Switch bundles will look similar to last year's. Which last year he shows here that they just tweeted it out, right? That's how they did it. So yeah, I mean, look, Nintendo's gonna have a bunch of holiday bundles to the surprise of should be absolutely no one. It's year 8. They're gonna bundle as much shit as they can to try to move Switches. We'll probably make a video on this later, by the way. We'll dive deeper into it. I gotta be careful. We have some new Echoes of Wisdom footage as well. I might have 2 videos I gotta bust out today. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I lost a spot in the chat. Oh, there it is. The Nintendo project says Kingdom Hearts 4, anybody? Oh, man. When are they going to show that game, guys? When are they going to show Kingdom Hearts 4? Seriously. It won't be today. State of play, maybe, but... Oh, man. The streak's only for the evening streams, right? Yes. I mean, look, if we happen to hit a 69 during a non-streak stream, we can add to the streak, but it's not technically part of the streak. It's more of a bonus. Imagine Nintendo announces a Switch 2 presentation right after the PS5 one. Yeah, probably not. Dwayne Davis says, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I got a question about the Switch 2. Do you think it might be in trouble? No. The Gamer Guy, 1981. It's laughable anyone that's concerned with performance would play on a console at all. Games are what matter. PlayStation 5 has been horrible for that. All cross-gen or on PC. If you're a PC master race kind of person, I can understand the sentiment. Like, everything's on PC, right? But not, the thing is like, some of PlayStation's games on PS5 are still not on PC. Astro Bot's not on PC, right? Spider-Man 2 isn't officially on PC yet. So, and no, not everything on PlayStation's on PC. There's still some oddball games out there from third parties that for some reason just don't have PC versions. I don't understand that decision, but it's all about preference of play. You know what I mean? Some people just prefer console, TV, controller. They don't want to deal with anything on PC. Still a little bit more easy for them to use than worrying about messing with settings. Jamie Camp comes in with the £199 saying cabinet first, PS6 and Switch 2 in 3 years. Okay. So you're going to do like the arcade cabinet first, and then you're going to buy a PlayStation 6, obviously closer to when it comes out, and then Switch 2 in a few years as well. You're going to wait on Switch 2. That's cool. Dude, that's totally cool, man. I get that. Thank you so much. Let's go update our total here. So we're at 3372. All right. Day one Astro Bot Defender PS5 Pro already has a listed video titled PS5 Pro, so it's triple lock. I don't even know what triple lock means. What is this triple? I've seen people say triple lock a lot the last 24 hours. The fuck does that even mean? What is this triple lock thing? J-Big says, what up, Nate? I don't know why everyone is tying PS5 Pro to GTA 6. I don't think GTA 6 will be the graphical showcase it is being hyped to, especially when we have no gameplay. We could argue we might have had gameplay. We aren't sure. Yeah, I don't know what the triple lock thing is. I've seen it a lot the last 24 hours on social media. It means almost certain to happen. What? Why does it need to be what? Look, we're seeing the PlayStation 5 Pro today. It's a lock. The terminology is it's a lock. Why the fuck do we need a triple lock? Saying it's a lock is already saying it's most likely guaranteed to happen. Why does it have to be a triple lock? What does triple lock add that saying something's a lock doesn't already do? That's what I'm confused about. Why are we adding words when the original phrase already means the same thing? You know what I mean? A double lock, a triple lock. If something's a lock, it's just a lock. It's just going to happen. I'm so confused. Why are we doing this? We don't need more than a single lock, man. If something's a lock to happen, it's happening. We don't need a double or a triple. It doesn't make it more likely. If it's already a lock, it's happening, man. I don't understand the youth these days, dude. I don't get it. It's a triple lock. No, it's either a lock or it's not a lock. Everything that's out there that's evidence just adds to it being locked in, man. It's happening. PlayStation 5 Pro's happening today. I don't understand why we have to like add words to things now that already have the proper meaning. All right. Switch 2 reveal next week. We have no idea, Johannes. I hope so, but we don't know. Day one Astro Bot says, how much do you want to bet that the next gen Xbox is just a cloud cast device? I think the next gen Xbox is going to be a handheld. That they're going to go handheld and get into the handheld PC space to compete with Steam Deck. Bama Hut. Just passing by, just wanted to say hi before going to bed. Had to get some Z's before season 1 on a while. Oh shit, season 1's coming, isn't it? I'm not even 80 yet. Maybe I'll hit it today. We'll see. I'm 79. So be 80 anytime I want. I just gotta log in. That Mango Man. What are some games you're hyped for in 2025? Personally, you're hyped for Civ 7 and MP4. Metro Prime 4, beyond Civ 7. But beyond that, I'm looking forward to things like, GTA 6 I'm a little bit excited for, just a little bit. I'm not a huge GTA guy, but I'm always fascinated, especially by the story modes, the campaign. And then, obviously, whatever's going to be launched on Switch 2, but we don't know yet. The only other one that, like, Legend ZA really has my interest. Like, there's not a lot announced right now for 2025 that has me like, oh my god, I gotta have it. But we're also not to 2025 yet, right? So, let's see here. Jordy Ladd says, do you think Nintendo reveals the Switch 2? Do you think it'll be a trailer or a showcase? It'll be a trailer. It'll be a trailer. LAJ35 coming in saying, would you recommend building a PC or buying a pre-built? I've been wanting to get one for a while and wanted your opinion. I always suggest building because it's a cheaper way to do it. However, not everyone's comfortable with it. Also, you have to deal with individual part warranties versus a company. Like if you got like an NXT pre-built computer, you know, you'd only deal with them if there's any PC issues instead of having to deal with individual parts manufacturing. Also, when you buy all these new parts and something doesn't work, you have to troubleshoot, which you might not know how to troubleshoot, and that can be very frustrating. Also, there is something nice about you just buy a PC, it shows up at your house, you plug it in and it works. Versus the components show up to your house, now you spend hours building it, hoping you didn't mess anything up, turning it on, then realizing, oh shit, I have to figure out how to install an operating system. I have to figure out how to go into BIOS. Like, that's just not for everyone. I love building PCs. I think it's well worth the time and investment, and I think there's a lot of excellent guides out there that can help you build the PC. But it's not for everyone. So it's a very, you know, if you decide to go pre-built, please don't go like CyberPower or iBuyPower. Go with a quality pre-built company. And no, that doesn't mean Alienware. Man, someone's at my house and they're printing things off. I think it's Yulia. Yulia's home. She printed something. The printer's in my office because my kids kept messing with it. Let's see here.
Are you streaming? This early?
She's like, oh, you told me? And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing. When I told you the reveals today, when you were playing Fortnite, she's like, yeah, don't interrupt me when I'm playing Fortnite. She's a gamer, folks. Officially, she's been playing a lot of different games. She'll beat all your asses in Fortnite. Did your thing printed off? Whatever it was. Oh, what is it? I already have one. It's on my phone. Oh. Well, my phone doesn't work half the time. You're not wrong. One of us. Dude, she likes to play Mario. Sometimes she plays Zelda. Fire Emblem Warriors. Specifically Fire Emblem Warriors. Well, she's never played the normal Dragon Quest, the normal Warriors games. Dynasty Warriors. She's never played that. She also likes to play, well, now Fortnite. GTA. I could see her wanting GTA 6 when it comes out.
Oh yeah.
She said, oh yeah, definitely she wants GTA 6. All right, so we will have GTA 6 day one in this house. Am I triple locked for an all-day stream next Wednesday? Why would there be an all-day stream next Wednesday? Even if Switch 2 was revealed next Wednesday, even if it wouldn't be an all-day stream. It would still only be like a 2 or 3 hour day stream, and then we have our podcast, and I still have to make videos, so it wouldn't be an all-day stream. Was there ever DLC announced for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I don't think so. Triple lock my chastity belt whenever Jake Randall's around. I don't trust myself around him or Eric. Oh my God. All right. Well, you're never allowed to come to a fan meetup.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, dude, it's 10,000 nudes. He's just gonna take his pants off.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious, says Yuli. Because of Jake Randall and Eric.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Later, Mango Man. Jordy Lad, I'm a child and I don't get some of the language some of my friends use nowadays, but you get used to it after a while. All right. Aspie Pilt says, do you think...
A smart child.
It's honey. Oh.
I don't understand how kids talk these days.
Yeah, they're using the term triple lock, which apparently, you know, like something's like on lock or lockdown.
Apparently Fortnite means 2 weeks.
Yes.
I didn't
That's
even
what
know that shit.
Honey, Fortnite's an English term for 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boy,
it's
no
in the
idea.
Bible that you've read before. You know,
Bitch,
in,
I haven't read the Bible in a long time.
in a fortnight, yeah, 14 days. That's what that means.
Dang, I did not know that.
Well, to be fair, she wasn't born. She was born Russian, speaking Russian, reading Russian, had to learn a whole new language when she got adopted. So
Yeah, you
she gets a pass.
Yeah, you fuck.
She gets a pass on not
I'm
knowing.
gonna change my last name to fuck. Fuchs.
So you're just gonna give me more ways to use the F word with you.
Yep.
Not just Yulia let's fuck. It'll just be Yulia fuck. Yulia fucks.
High five.
Yulia fucks.
Good. Great.
yeah. Yes, definitely. All right. So now all the children that we're watching.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry.
It is a day stream,
Oh yeah, right.
but
Nope.
it just went adult.
Night every day in my world. What are they talking about? It's party time.
It's party time. Yeah, the kids are at school. It's party time.
Yeah, right.
This is like
Yes, why is that child? They should be at school.
the different countries, different time
Yeah,
zones.
right. Well, tell them to pick up a book.
Why isn't my music playing?
I don't know.
My stream deck's not working at all. Hold on. Do we have a sound problem?
More children when? Never.
Hold on. Does this work at least?
More children when? Never. 3
Oh.
personalities is enough for me. I'm
Oh, I know what happened.
to try and figure out. I'm good.
I got it.
I'm good.
Figured out the sound problem. I'm like, oh boy, we got to be able to hear Mark Cerny in like 5 minutes.
It's not after 10 p.m.
It's not after 10
Lucy,
p.m.
I'm sleeping at. No, I don't speak Russian anymore. I know some words.
Does she know some words?
I go to bed by like. Well, depends if I'm playing Fortnite. All right.
Hey, $5 from Necro Banana. Thank you so much, man. Saying Fortnite, Skibidi Toilet, Riz on God Sigma Jelking. I love watching Kai Sinet while I show speed Muse, the Rizzler, and Big Just. Okay, I don't know what half those fucking words mean.
Skibbity toilet. I don't even know what that
I
is.
know what Riz means.
My daughter always.
I don't know Jelking or Sigma. Skibidi Toilet, I've heard of, but I don't really know it that well. Fortnite, I know. That's just an English word.
Riz, yeah, that one.
Muse. What does Mew mean again? I don't even remember. Someone told me at one point.
Sorry, I'm on. You gotta learn how to-
This is Spreka the English.
I don't speak teen.
Yeah, she doesn't speak teenager. All right. In a couple minutes here, we'll switch over to the PlayStation stuff, guys. All right. Do I think they'll show more Monster Hunter, or is that a Tokyo Game Show? Right now, Monster Hunter is not even scheduled to be at Tokyo Game Show. Right now, it might just be at the PlayStation Showcase or PlayStation State of Play at the end of the month. Should I upgrade the iPhone 16? You sold the iPhone 8 Plus. Well, what the fuck, dude? Fire Soul. Look, man, I have mad respect that you're able to stay on such an old generation phone for so long. If you can afford it, upgrade. The iPhone 16 will be your next phone for what, the next decade at this point? For how long you hold on to phones? You need to upgrade. I couldn't handle still being on the iPhone 8. I already don't like this. It's the iPhone 14 and I have problems with it. Problems that you would probably look at and be like, problem? That's a feature. That's a feature. Sometimes your cell connection drops a little bit. That's a feature. Your phone's telling you get off the internet. Does Yulia play Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes? No. Wait. Yes. I had to think for a second. Yeah, I think you've hit me with confusion. I'm stunned with confusion. Looking here, all right. PlayStation Store's not yet. You should upgrade the iPhone 16. Yep, okay. Hey, what's up, Paul Gale? How you doing, man? I would just ask your kids. I can't be bothered to explain. Dude, I don't know if my kids even know. My kids use all those words, and last time I asked them what they meant, they didn't know. You realize that a lot of kids, like, they learn the terms as they grow up, but if no one tells them what it means, they just use it without realizing what they're saying. You know how many people use those terms and probably don't know because no one told them? Anyways, haven't owned anything PlayStation since the 3, says Taker610 for $2. I understand that. Hey man, we just hit 40. Nice, on a PlayStation stream. Look at that. We have 300 plus watching right now too. About to start. I'm gonna go ahead and flip over so we don't miss anything. I'm gonna turn off the background music. I had it up right here. Yeah, they already got it up with countdown timer. All right, we're gonna make sure. Yeah, we got the stream in 4K, which it's not out to you guys at 4K, but maximize the quality here. Let's go live. We'll have the volume maxed out for now. I'm gonna refresh the page just to be sure we don't have any issues. We shouldn't, but you know, there's no sound as an example right now. I hope that they're not playing any music. I'm gonna check on my phone. Are they playing music on the stream and we can't hear it? Just so you know if I gotta fix a sound thing. I don't know. They might not have any music playing. Usually they do, but let's find out. PlayStation loaded on my phone. Nah, there's no sound. No, they don't have any sound. All right, so it's on their end. Usually they have music with their countdown timer. That's why I'm like, huh, no sound this time, huh? All right. We're just grumpy old men. I'm not grumpy about it. Look, the slang when I'm a kid from the 90s. Our slang wasn't that insane. It really wasn't. Our slang was not that crazy. It just wasn't. Yeah, cool beans. Sure. Yeah, cool beans was a big one from the 90s. Yes. Tubular. Sure. Yeah, sick. Man, that's sick. Like, it was very basic, simple. It wasn't having, like, entire fucking sentences as slang. It was, like, one word in a sentence was slang. You know what I mean? We did not have, like my parents, like Joyce said, my parents had to ask me what I was talking about. My parents never had to ask me what I was talking about. They understood it the whole time. They understood it the whole time. Roaring Kitties watching. Well, I mean, why not? He likes games. Yeah, today's slang is just meme slang, and I think that's why it just sounds so weird to me. It's all just memed. You know, it's all meme bullshit. Which memes can be funny, but man, it's like everything. Anyways, here we go. It's starting. See, we're gonna see some M-rated games today.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional
Here we go.
experience.
Make me wet, Mark. Let's go.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. Custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it!
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved.
It looks almost identical.
When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro
Why was his
substantially
audio so low
improves
there?
over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images
What is up with that
pixel by
audio?
pixel and can add an
It's so weird.
extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to
what
new
is
and
this?
existing titles. And with the Big 3 involved,
Somebody
the results can be
messed
pretty
up the
amazing.
audio, man.
With graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate.
It doesn't
Here's
sound
The
good.
Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and
Some
targets
weird
a
audio,
super
man.
smooth 60 frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Don't stop! We gotta lose.
Wonder how many
This
people
goal
looked at that
of
and said,
delivering
"Eh."
almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
Oh, okay, Mark.
Another way to
all
compare
right,
the two
all
consoles
right.
is to look at PS5
It
Pro
ain't
versus
doubling the
Performance
power,
mode
come
on
on, man.
PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars.
I mean, yeah.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see
I don't know if I
increased
ca-
sharpness
okay.
to the graphics or
Mark,
smoother
that's not
and more
remarkable.
responsive
It's just
gameplay.
nice to have.
This is the Big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Dwarf's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows.
No, it looks so good compared to Switch.
I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology
The
behind
Switch version
PlayStation
looks
5
nothing
Pro.
like that.
Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've
Damn
ever
it.
built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family.
I'm gonna end up buying the
Let
game
me wrap
again
this up by
for
giving you a
PS5.
quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
I've been avoiding watching anything Hogwarts Legacy.
Don't let me hang.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Oh, dude, the vertical stand is sold separately. Oh my god, it's 700! It's 700! It's 700! No fucking way, Sony! It's 700! No fucking way! Remember when people were fucking bitching at me on Twitter? Oh, it ain't gonna be 7. It's fucking one version 700. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. They left that up for you see how quick they fucking got off that screen too? They stayed on it for like a second and a half. Oh my god. 800 fucking euros? Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, 700 and doesn't. By the way, this stand not included. You got to buy that extra if you want to put your PS5 vertical. Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm so sorry. What the fuck was that? What the fuck is it? Sony, have you lost the boat, man? Mark Cerny just said, oh, the PlayStation 5 is basically almost twice as powerful. The PlayStation 5 Pro is almost twice as powerful. You said 45% increase in GPU performance. That's not twice as powerful. No CPU improvements. Yeah, the RAM's faster, but there's not more of it. That is not twice as powerful. It's a new 3DS compared to the 3DS. It is a slight upgrade. So slight, most people can't even notice it looking on screen. The biggest deal is fidelity mode in 60 FPS. What did I say was going to end up being the biggest deal? They were going to show that fidelity mode will now be 60 FPS. They didn't show 120 for performance mode. They kind of acted like there just won't be performance mode if you have a PlayStation 5 Pro. It's just fidelity mode, 60 FPS. And yeah, things are, because of their upscaling, things are a bit more clear in the background. What the fuck? Like, okay, on a big TV like this, or like my 120-inch projector up in my bedroom, it probably would be a bit noticeable that things are clearer. I think for most people that are rocking like 75-inch and under TVs, I don't know that they're really going to notice some of that improved clarity, because it's barely noticeable. I got a 32-inch monitor here that's barely noticeable on the 32-inch monitor. So, man, let's just, I'm going to lower the volume on this. Let's watch through this a little bit again. I'm going to lower the volume on it because we don't need full volume. Let's just watch through a little bit of this again. All right, here we go.
Excited to be here to talk
So,
about the newest addition to our console.
It's 700.
PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah,
And how
almost
it advances gaming
$1,000 in USD
But
from
first, I want
euros.
to take just a minute to
What
look
the
at what
fuck,
we put in
man?
the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers
Sony's
an
high, man.
exceptional gaming experience.
So I'll say this. I'll say this. Clearly, at the price point they're putting out there, this is only meant for the highest of ballers out there, the biggest of ballers, the rich of the rich, right? This system is not meant to have mass consumers buy it. Okay, this system is not for the mass consumer base. It is for the elite of the elite, the rich of the rich. Okay, this is the ultimate luxury of luxury items for the big baller PlayStation fan, right? That's what this is for. At the price points they put it at, it is an absolute luxury big ticket thing that's not necessarily significantly better than a $450 PlayStation. Wait a second. Hold up. What do they charge for the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 all digital euro pricing? What is the price for it? So it's $449. They want almost double the, oh my fucking God. By the way, hold on. Wait a second. Where is it? Hold on. Right here. Isn't it just a digital? Where it looks at the system. So I'm scrubbing through here. Yeah, no disc. Hold on. No disc. No disc. Almost double the price of digital in Europe. There's no... Who the fuck is buying this in Europe? The all-digital PlayStation 5 is 450 euros. It's almost double the fucking price. They almost doubled the goddamn price of the PlayStation 5 all-digital in Europe. In Europe specifically. It's not quite as bad here in the US. But holy fucking shit. And you know what? All those people that trolled me on Twitter when I said, oh, build me a better PC. Build me a better PC. Motherfucker, in Europe, it's $900 US. I could build you a goddamn better PC for $900 fucking dollars US. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here with that shit. Dude, here's the thing. Am I convinced to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro? Well, no. But that did nothing to convince me to buy it. Will I end up buying one? If I do, if I bought one, it would not be because I need it. It would be to continue the conversation so I can show you guys firsthand. Like, I'd have to buy a PlayStation 5 as well. So I'd have to buy a used PlayStation 5 all digital and this, and I would try to be like, all right, let's actually look at this and see what it's like, because we got to compare things between this and the old PlayStation 5 and compare it. It would just be for work. It would be for work. It wouldn't be for personal. That's what I'm basically saying. I'd have to justify it as a work thing to do comparisons of games between Switch 2, PlayStation 5 Pro, PS5, Xbox, because I have the Xbox Series X back there. I got to get a Series S as well. So like it would literally just be to cross compare. That's it. It would just be for my work. As a consumer, I do not want this. This is fucking insane. So let's go back now and actually rewatch it like I was planning to. This is insane, man. I don't. It's not a mass consumer device. Fine. But I don't know that did they do anything in here to justify that price point? As someone who spent $3,500, all right? I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll go move my camera. I'll go move my camera. Look what I spent $3,500 on. All right. Oh. So I spent $3,500 on this computer. Now, I didn't need to spend that much on it, but we got a 4080 Super in here. I didn't even go with a 4090 because the 4090 was even more overkill for what I needed because this is built for work. We have a 4080 Super in here. We have a 14900K, which in hindsight wasn't the greatest of choices, but, you know, whatever. We have our high-end liquid cooling in there. We got 64 gigs of RAM, DDR5, running at like 66 mega transfers per second. This motherboard is a fucking 10 gig networking beast of a fucking board. It's like a $600 motherboard. It's got every fucking feature I need for work. Obviously, we have a 4K capture card down here. That's $3,500. Now, I bring this up because the justifications for the price, this computer, by the way, just for its base specs, can be built for much cheaper. But the reason I bring that up is because there are reasons things cost this much for what I'm trying to do with it from a work perspective. There are some justifications for the cost. I don't think PlayStation 5 Pro has justified the cost. And don't worry, in the future, we're going to have multiple angles. Man, I really messed up my camera. We're going to have multiple angles in the future, so I won't have to move my camera. We're working on it. We're working on getting multiple angles, multiple cameras. But, holy shit, man. I'm just in shock right now.
I'm excited to be here to talk about.
I don't know what they showed us that's worth
PlayStation 5,
700 plus tax in the U.S., nearly $1,000 in Europe.
I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an
What they showed, I could see if it was $699 across the board. I'm sorry, not $699, $599 across the board. If it had like 2 terabytes in it as well. It didn't talk about how much storage is in it. If it had 2 terabytes of storage, you know, if it had 2 terabytes and had the improvements and then ran at $599, all right. It does have 2 terabytes? Does it? It has a 2 terabyte SSD? Okay. That's, but here, guys, I said that would be good at $599. I said that would be good at $599. It's an all digital version that's not that. They got more on the blog. Let's look at the PlayStation blog. Let's look at the PlayStation blog. All right. We'll zoom in a bit here. Oops, wrong thing. I meant to do this. All right. Welcome to the PlayStation 5 Pro, the most visually impressive way to play games on PlayStation. We'll put a little background music up. It's so quiet around here. So it says, over the last 4 years since the PlayStation 5, we've been working to continuously evolve the console experience and deliver the great games our players expect from us. Today, I'm incredibly proud to announce a step in evolution. Welcome to PlayStation 5 Pro to the PlayStation family. Okay. We developed the PS5 Pro with deeply engaged players, game creators in mind. As many have asked for a console that runs even higher fidelity graphics and smoother frame rates at 60 FPS. We achieved this on PlayStation 5 Pro with several key. You know what's funny about that? You can get some of that by just being better at optimizing your games. I know some game developers that aren't happy with the PlayStation 5 generation because they felt it was pointless. I think this just makes it more pointless. But upgraded GPU. So it's 67% more compute units than the current PS5, 28% faster memory. But this enables up to up to, not even guaranteed, just up to 45% faster. Anyways, advanced ray tracing. By the way, I didn't really notice much difference in their advanced ray tracing versus their regular ray tracing. I don't know if that was just me, but their standard ray tracing is already pretty solid. I didn't notice a huge difference with the advanced ray tracing, but AI-driven upscaling. The upscaling was fine. The upscaling was fine. It definitely made things a little bit clearer in the background, but not by an amount that I think people care. PlayStation 5 Pro provides gamers with amazing graphics at high frame rates. You can hear Mark Cerny lead. Okay, is this an additional video? No, that's the showcase we saw. Okay. Other enhancements include PlayStation 5 Pro Game Boost. Can apply to more than 8,500 backwards compatible. Oh, wait. Is this new? Is this new? Oh, whoa. This is new. PlayStation 5 Pro Game Boost. It can apply to more than 8,500 backwards compatible PS4 games. Which you better own digitally. This feature may stabilize or improve. It's not even across the board. May stabilize or improve the performance of the supported PS4 and PS5 games. Enhanced image quality for PS4 games is also available to improve the resolution on select PS4 games. PS5 Pro will also launch with the latest wireless technology, so it has Wi-Fi 7 at least, in territories that support the standard. Get out of here with the 8K gaming crap. Anyways, variable refresh rate. Okay. I have a $10 super chat. Comes in from Meat Puppet 007. Question: trying to figure out at $700 US who's going to spend that much money on a digital PS5 even if it's slightly upgraded. Ballers. It's a baller console. It's an EP console. It's an EP console. It's for ballers. It's for ballers. That's what it is. People that just want to say what I have is better than what you have. There might be some rare instances, like if someone has like a 100-inch 8K OLED TV, where you could justify saying, nah, I need this because I want the better enhanced resolution in the background. But here's the fucking thing: if you're someone rocking a fucking 8K 100-inch TV, you are a big fucking baller. You are rich as shit. That's like a fucking $50,000 TV. Yeah, this price point, money ain't shit to you. You wipe your ass with $1,000 bills. Anyways, these games can be identified, with PS5 Pro enhanced label within their title. Some games you can look forward to include blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studios and our third-party games such as Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Demon's Souls, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank, Crew Motorfest, First Descendant, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, more. Okay. Pretty much all the games they showed in the trailer. Thank you so much for the $10. And it says, we kept the look of the PS5 Pro consistent with the overall PlayStation 5 family. Yeah, the look's fine. You'll notice the height is the same size as the original PlayStation 5, and the width is the same size as the current PS5 model. So it's basically like a little bit taller than the current PS5 model, with the width being like they're talking about the Slim, and the width's about the same as the Slim. Players can add an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive or swap out console covers when they become available. All right. Fits perfectly within the PS5 Pro family. Okay, so there's no improvements to the controller. There was rumors there might be improvements to the DualSense. There isn't. PS5 console will be available this holiday. There's the in Japan it includes tax. So that's priced with tax in Japan. It'll include a 2 terabyte SSD, a DualSense wireless controller, a copy of Astro's Playroom pre-installed. By the way, at this point, if you're charging this kind of money, you better put in fucking more than Astro's goddamn fucking Playroom. Astro Bot should be packed in. Dude, you need to pack in fucking something else, man, at this price. Holy fuck. Give everyone a free copy of Spider-Man 2 or some shit. Jesus Christ. PS5 game of choice should just be part of the package. You should just include like $100 in digital currency. My opinion. Jesus Christ. PS5 Pro is available as a disc-less console. The option to purchase the currently available disc drive PS5 separately. Okay, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, how much is the current disk drive? How much is the current disk drive to buy separately? Because it doesn't look like it uses the exact same plates. Well, that didn't help. How much is the current disk drive? PS5 disk drive. This is $80. If you want to turn this into a physical console, by the way, this doesn't include the new side plate. You'd have to get a side plate that matches your Pro. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I've never bought I don't have a Slim. I've never had a Slim before, so maybe you don't have to buy a new. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's fine. Okay, you probably don't have to. So you still got to spend 80 though. So you got to spend, if you're in Europe, you're spending nearly $1,000 to have a physical version. If you're in the US, you're spending almost $800. I mean, with taxes, you're over 800 in the US. My fucking God. I can't. I don't know what they're doing. See, I never owned a Slim, so I wasn't quite sure the detachable drive part. I only ever owned a PlayStation 5 physical OG launch version. I can't, man. What is this? Dude, what is this, man? What is happening? This is insanity. It's like the definition of insanity. So remember how I said that they aren't going to sell 20 million PlayStation 5 Pros the way they sold PlayStation 4 Pros? I stand by that. They might sell 5 million, maybe, if they're lucky. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. That is insane. The 2 terabytes is like the best news. Jesus Christ. Since anything that is higher than 4 teraflops costs around $450 to $500 US without tax. Yeah, this ain't it, man. They won't sell 500,000 units. Dude, that European price is insane. I mean, look, as bad as it is for here in the US, like 700, okay. Dude, it's even worse. It's 900 USD in Europe. $200 more expensive in Europe. In USD. 200. And you want a disk drive with a thou. Granted, if you already own a disk drive thing, you know, but. Oh, man. Europe include tax. It's not without tax. So yeah, you got tax on top, dude. It's over $1,000 in Europe if you want to have physical. This is. So how are you guys reacting to this right now? Let's read some of the chat. I've been mostly just doing my reactions. There's a super chat I forgot to feature. I forgot to feature Jawbreakers. Jawbreaker said, you said yesterday Sony fanboys would have a field day with Nintendo after today's announcement. I think it's the other way around now. Maybe, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not gonna trash Sony. I think, yeah, well, man, I just think it's tone deaf is all. Not that the Pro exists, but what they're asking for. I mean, I gotta tweet right now, man. We gotta tweet this out. The PlayStation 5 Pro pricing feels completely tone deaf. 700 USD without tax, just for the digital. Want it to be physical. 779. Oh, 779. Enjoy that $900 USD. basically said, not performance mode, fidelity mode. Just had to, like, man. All right, let's get to your guys' reactions. This is ridiculous. It would have been okay if it had a disk drive and stand. Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention the stand wasn't included. I should have put that in the tweet as well. Man, how much is the stand? How much is the stand? Looks like it uses the same stand as the PlayStation Slim. So PlayStation 5 Slim stand. How much is that? $30. Jesus fucking Christ. They're charging $30 for plastic. How is that not included in? You know, people say Nintendo is the Apple of the video game industry. I think at this point, right now, it's Sony. Sony is the Apple of the video game industry right now. These are so Apple prices. Insane. I'm actually curious how many people are going to buy this thing. I'm very curious. $2. It's Nintendo's time to shine. Yeah, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, if Switch 2 is announced next week and Nintendo dares to drop a price, if Nintendo drops a price and they're showing, watch Nintendo grab the same AAA third-party games, show it on Switch 2. They look good enough. Right, it looks like, you know, there's not like a massive discernible difference. They just scream 60 FPS, and then Nintendo drops a price of fucking $399.99. They would just shit all over Sony right now, because Sony looks so tone deaf. Like Nintendo Switch 2, if they announced it this month, would just come out looking like a fucking champ. Holy shit. If you convert the yen to USD, they're paying $840 digital. Jesus, for the digital version. Dude, this is insanity, man. The goal of the mid-gen refresh, improve hardware, was always supposed to be, hey, our sales numbers are going down, which, yes, PlayStation 5 sales numbers are going down. So we release a new, slightly more powerful system to boost sales back up for a couple of years. I don't think this is going to boost sales up past this holiday. I think there will be people that buy it this holiday. You're going to have your day oneers. But I don't think this is, like, for the next year, going to significantly boost PlayStation 5 sales. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand the PlayStation fan base. But I don't see this meaningfully boosting PlayStation 5 sales past this holiday. I think it will have an effect on this holiday. Cool Cash says, let's go Switch 2 2024. Oh my God, you bastard. I just realized you made us hit 69. Oh man, you know what? We'll add to the streak and I'll chug a beer. I don't even care, man. After that kind of announcement, dude, I need a drink. We need a drink. We're gonna have a beer. We're gonna have a day beer, guys. It has to happen. We hit 69. I don't even. The streak is alive. Yeah, dude, I don't do day drinking, but dude, that was what fucking shit show was that? You know what? I almost feel like I should have like a mug that has like haters' tears in the mug. You know what I mean? Cheers, guys. Gotta open the gullet. That's how you get it down. Excuse me. You used to be able to chug faster than that. What a shit show, man. What a shit show. Did you know they had PlayStation spelled wrong this whole time? I had PlayStation spelled wrong? Oh. Oh, in this thing did I? Oh, shit. You know what? I knew ahead of time it was going to be trash. I knew ahead of time. Spelling PlayStation. That should have been a sign. That should have been a sign. The sign was, this is not going to be good. Should have been a sign. Oh my God. $5 in from Jawbreakers. Honestly, I can't tell the difference between a PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 5 Vanilla most of the time. It's Switch 2 is in that ballpark. They'll be in good shape. Yeah, dude. If Switch 2 is in the ballpark of a PlayStation 4 Pro and an Xbox Series S sort of thing, they're gonna be just fine for the next 5 years. You know what? You know what's actually, you think about this? How is PlayStation going to sell a PS6? Where do you go from here? This is a serious question. Where do you go from here if you're Sony? How do you sell a PlayStation 6? A PlayStation 6 at this point is going to be what, $1 grand? It's going to be $1 grand? And who's going to buy that? How are the games? I think the games aren't even going to look. Yeah, 1,500 in Europe. The games aren't even going to look significantly better. They already, like, some people just in the chat, like, admitted it already struggles to be like for PlayStation 5 games to look better than the PlayStation 4 stuff. So, like, now you got the Pro. I mean, look, a PlayStation 6, yeah. PlayStation 6 has to be like a top-end PC, right? You better put a fucking 4090. Oh, I'm sorry. They go with AMD. It won't be 4090. You better put a 7950 XD processor in there, and then what's the top card? Is it 7900 XT? What's AMD's top GPU right now? Yeah, 7900 XTX. Yeah. Like, they better be putting, they have the 9 series coming out. So you gotta have a 9950 with the 7900 XTX for $1 grand. Now to be fair, that would be a hell of a deal. You can't actually build a computer with those components for $1 grand. But the point is, like, what are they doing, man? Sony lost the boat? I think they've lost the boat. You know what? I think I know what's happening. I get it. I understand. Sony did this because Microsoft's no longer competition. Sony has no direct competitor. And they know it. They know it. This pricing, this move is, we don't have anyone stopping us anymore. There's no more powerful Xbox coming out. Nintendo's new system won't even be as powerful as a PS5. We have no competition. So because we have no competition, we're gonna start being premium Sally. We're charging premiums for everything. It's all premium, top tier, big baller pricing from now on. And Nintendo, they're your budget system. We're not interested in the budget systems anymore. We don't care. Nintendo can be your budget platform. We don't care about budgets anymore. We are premium, top tier, big baller, open your wallet. That's what we are now. And we hope that there's 100 million people out there that are big ballers like us. And maybe there are. Maybe they do have 100 million consumers that are big ballers like them. Maybe they're right. Maybe it is a good bet. Maybe them going into the ultra premium space is where they need to be. Of course, how'd that work for their laptop division? So PlayStation 5 is going to be fine because it's already been a profitable generation for them. They sold almost 60 million systems. They're doing fine, but it's just because this sets up PlayStation 6 to be $1,000 system. Like, let's not bullshit around. This sets up PlayStation 6 to be $1,000 system. Holy shit, dude. Shalaris Blackheart, do you think this is the return of the PlayStation 3 arrogance? A little bit. A little bit. It's a little bit of the return of that arrogance, because when they launched PlayStation 3, they felt on top of the world. Nintendo, you're not stepping up to the plate right now at the time because of GameCube and everything. Then you had Xbox. Yeah, Xbox is new to the market, but hey, PlayStation 2 sold 160 million apparently. So like, we're on top of the fucking world. So we're good. We're good. We're on top of the fucking world. So we're gonna go ahead and charge $600 fucking at launch for a PlayStation 3. By the way, a year after the Xbox 360 already launched at a cheaper price point. Think about this. Think about how arrogant Sony had to be. The Xbox 360 had released the year before cheaper with roughly the same power. And PlayStation 3 still released at $100 more than an Xbox 360. Just think about that level of arrogance they had. To be a year late to the generation starting, but charge more for close to the same performance. It was insane. They just thought their brand was so big, people would buy it just due to brand. And the market corrected them and said, no, we're not just gonna buy it due to brand. Sorry. We'll buy a 360. And that's why the 360 blew up. 80 million. Now, yeah, the PlayStation 3 still got to 80 million, but it had a very slow start to the generation. They had to cut prices. A lot of things had to be done to get PlayStation 3 back on track. And even then, it never got back on track because it never hit 100 million. PlayStation 1 sold over 100 million. PlayStation 2 hit 160. PlayStation 3 didn't get to 100 million. PlayStation 3 sold like the GBA, like the Game Boy Advance did, which is still really good. 80 million is a hell of a lot of systems, but it's not what they were aspiring it to be. And they had to do that by cutting prices. Just like Nintendo with the 3DS. Yeah, the 3DS got to 75 million, which is the worst selling handheld in Nintendo's history. However, still pretty successful. It just shows how big their handhelds are. But they had to cut prices to do it, right? So like, that's not, Nintendo wouldn't consider that a successful generation. They had to cut prices from launch in order to even get to those numbers. Just like the GameCube. They literally at one point chopped the GameCube down to $100 and they still couldn't sell it. So I think that Sony has no competition. They know it. They're going to charge what they want. And at the prices they're charging, their competition's PC. And I wonder if PlayStation 6 comes out and is anywhere near $1,000. Let's say it's not $1,000 in the US. It'll be $1,000 in Europe at this point. But let's say in the US, it's like, we're charging $799. We're charging $800. At what price point do console gamers start to be like, you know what? Maybe a better investment's PC. At what point does that start to cross some console gamers' minds? Like, maybe PC is the better way. Maybe we spend a little bit more. You know, spend like another $200 to $400 more. Get a really decent, nice, upgradable computer. And we go from there. Where you don't have to upgrade everything at once. You know? You figure out what your bottleneck is, and that's what you upgrade. Obviously, the most expensive upgrade, you know, is usually a GPU, but sometimes a platform upgrade can be pricey too. Kind of depends. But, and yeah, Sony's putting their games on PC. Granted, not all day one. Like Helldivers 2 is day one, but not all of them are day one. Some you gotta wait like 2-3 years. But this to me is, oh, jeez, man. How am I even supposed to make that Nintendo video? I'm supposed to make like 1 or 2 Nintendo videos today. How the fuck am I supposed to make it after what just happened? How am I supposed to make it after what just fucking happened, man? This is insanity, man. Look, this is gonna be the only thing on my mind all day. You know what? I know how. We'll save it. We'll save it for tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream, we'll talk more about PlayStation 5 Pro. We'll let the dust settle. We'll let the conversations happen online. And then we'll talk about it tonight on the live. Tonight's live stream, by the way, 8 p.m. Is going to be members only in the chat. So that's just a perk our members get. Tuesday night streams, members only. Everyone can watch, but only members can talk in the chat and get their questions in. You can still super chat, of course. Like, they don't take that away. But if you're super chatting, why not be a member? Didn't PS4 release for $399 and the Pro released for $399? Yes. The PlayStation 4 Pro launched at the same price as the PlayStation 4. So the PlayStation 4 launched at $399. PlayStation 4 Pro was also $399, and then they dropped the price of PlayStation 4. They didn't do that this time, obviously, which we knew wasn't going to happen because they keep raising the prices. Wait, yeah, dude, we hit 69, so we added to the streak. We hit 69. Insane, right? Now we're at 84. Go update it. We're at 84 right now. Thank you guys for the support. I do appreciate it, guys. I do appreciate it. Switch It Up says, I do agree with what you said, but Nintendo indirectly showed they can. Nintendo went years without a price cut and show everyone, Xbox included, that you can get more out of the consumers. You can go without a price cut. I'm not critical of a lack of price cuts for Sony. It's only been 4 years. I'm not critical of a lack of price cuts. I don't like Nintendo. I think Switch should be cheaper, but also I understand business. I run a bit. My YouTube channel is a business. I get business a little bit. You don't lower the prices when people are still buying it in the millions at that price. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So yes, keeping things at a consistent price I think is important. So I think when you price something, you think long-term now, not just short-term. So like when Switch 2 gets its price announced, Nintendo's thinking this is going to be the price of Switch 2 for the next 8 years. So you can't just go like, oh, well, the margins right now are very thin. We're only making a couple dollars per system. Yeah, but as it gets cheaper to make your components over time, your system price stays the same. It just gets more and more profitable. So you got to start thinking, oh, we're thinking down the line that this is $400 for 8 years. And that's not even including an OLED model that'll launch someday. It'll be $450, right? So power of the PS4 will make Skull and Bones. Yeah, Skull and Bones gonna go from a quad A game to a 5-pack. To a 5-pack game. Oh god. Sony's going after the Apple market where premium pricing is accepted. Yeah. Like I have an iPhone, and look, guys, I'm literally about to get an iPhone 16 Pro Max or whatever, like their most expensive phone. So like I get it, but I'm also not paying all that money out of pocket day one. That's one of the advantages of like getting phones through like carriers and stuff. Like here, you got to have the money all up front. Like with Apple, and you know, I'm with AT&T. I don't have to have the money up front, you know. So like there's. And they have like trade-in program that you can trade in your phone and get credit, and so you end up not actually paying that much. But and you can do that with a PlayStation 5 Pro. You can trade in your PlayStation 5 towards paying for it. But damn, man. And don't be wrong, there's Android phones that are really expensive too. I mean, come on, like the Samsung Fold, it's an expensive phone. Technically, Nintendo started it first, but everyone saw the Switch was still selling years after no price cut. That was it. Everyone knew they could push the envelope higher. I think Nintendo just showed if you have a compelling system with compelling games. Nintendo's so different because Nintendo has evergreen content. You know what I mean? PlayStation 5 sales are actually down year over year in 2024. So they're only in year 4 and their sales are declining. Switch's sales were still increasing in year 4. And that was before COVID. Actually, I guess it was during COVID. I guess I can't say that. COVID was involved with that, so it's not fair. Okay, that's not a fair comparison. I take that back a little bit. Unfair comparison because Switch had the COVID boost. Never mind. Scratch what I just said. Scratch what I have to consider the COVID boost. So I guess we don't know what Switch would have been doing 4 years in. Yeah, Apple does think you'll buy it just for the brand, absolutely. I mean, look, I want to get off Apple and go back to Android, but my fiance, and I've used Android before, my fiance and my family are like screaming at me about it. But iMessage, but this, but that. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit. And they're like, nah. I'm like, fine. I'll get another iPhone. What's going to happen is this is my work phone. When I upgrade this, I'll upgrade this to Android, and then my personal phone will be Apple still. So that's how I'm going to handle it, basically. I'm going to have an Apple for personal and Android for work. That being announced, that 700 games are going to be 100 or 100 a shot by 2026. I don't think that'll happen. I think the $70 standard game pricing is going to be around for another generation. But I do think what's going to happen is those $70 versions of games are going to start becoming gimped massively. We've already seen it. You buy the $70 standard edition or you buy the $100 deluxe edition. What's the deluxe edition got? Extra content. Oh, so you cut content from the $70 version. I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think the standard price will still be $70, but you're going to see cut content included at $100. So you're essentially correct, but there still will be $70 as a standard version price. And there'll be some games, like Nintendo games, that will just charge you $70 and you get the whole fucking game. And then they'll just sell you a DLC later. Not, oh, we're gonna do $70, then cut content to give you a deluxe version for $100. Oh, and we're also gonna charge you a $50 DLC on top. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't forget inflation. I know, but the $60 price point stayed around through multiple bouts of inflation. That's why I said it just went to 70. I don't think the standard version is gonna stay at 70. You gotta remember, Musabi, a majority of sales today are digital. So games are more profitable for that 70 than they've ever been because they don't have to create discs, they don't have to create packaging, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like on a per sale basis, games are more profitable due to digital. Switch It Up says, I don't disagree with what everyone here says about the price cut. Fine with that. I'm just saying, adding on to what you said, Sony knows they kind of got greedy. Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't think Sony priced this thinking they're selling 20 million. Okay, they sold 20 million PlayStation 4 Pros. I do not believe they, for a moment, put this price up in the back of their mind and went, we're selling 20 million. I don't think this price was about selling 20 million. So this price point, I'll say this. If Sony thinks they're selling 20 million at this price, they're delusional. If they think, okay, no matter what we do, PlayStation 5 sales are kind of what they are. So what could we do to milk a little bit of extra money out of a few million in sales? Hey, let's release a super, super overpriced, expensive Pro model. Then I think, yeah, they probably will. You know, like, if they sell 2 to 3 million, 5 million, I can see that. I can see that being a realistic number for them. And they'd be milking extra profits off the top. I could see that. So if that's what they think this system is, then I guess I understand the choice. You know? CNET went hands-on. See, this is why I kept the stream going. I knew there was going to be additional coverage. And guys, for those that don't know, I'm a Nintendo channel, so we don't make like PlayStation 5 videos. We usually do it, you know, sometimes we'll do like a launch video or like a quick launch review, but we don't really make PlayStation videos. So this is why we were waiting around. I knew there was going to be no new news. So let's go. We got a hands-on demo from CNET. Let's turn our music off. Take a look at this. This is why I kept the stream going, because I knew there was going to be some additional coverage. So CNET here as a hands-on preview. Let's take a look.
I'm here at PlayStation headquarters with an exclusive hands-on of Sony's brand.
Are they only in HD? They're only in... Dude, come on, CNET. Come on, CNET. You're using a 4K system. Only HD? Come on.
New PlayStation 5 Pro console that's coming out in November. Yes, I'm here at PlayStation headquarters with an exclusive hands-on of Sony's brand new PlayStation 5 Pro console that's coming out in November. Yes, I got to play a bunch of games on it. Here's what's going on. It's been 4 years since Sony released the PlayStation 5, which went by pretty fast in the middle of a pandemic. But the idea of next generation kind of lingers.
So that's the size comparison. So you can see where it's basically a slim with like maybe an extra inch. It's like an extra inch tall. So basically they added like these extra little fins in, and that's what gives it the extra inch. You know, is this side plate the same size as this side plate? I'm trying to think of for the adding the disc. Maybe these side plates are the same size on the bottom. Because you remember you can attach a disc and it comes with the plate to convert. Maybe it's the same size.
in my head, and probably for a lot of
Can't
people.
tell.
When do you buy a
Could be
console?
an optical illusion.
Well, Sony has had mid-range console upgrades in the past. The PlayStation 4 Pro came out 3 years after the PlayStation 4. And lo and behold, the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out 4 years after the PlayStation 5. For $699, you're paying more, but not too much tremendously more, compared to the PlayStation 5 that is already on the market and has an...
Not too much tremendously more. You're comparing the $500 physical
upgraded, slimmer version.
By the way, you're actually looking at your slim version. Sorry, your slim. That's my shake timer. Your slim version that you have there is not the $500 system. You're actually side by side comparing the $450 digital version versus the $700. So it's a pretty big leap.
Compared side by side, it's also not that much larger. In fact, it's a little bit smaller.
I'm just saying he's not comparing the right version when he mentions the $499 price that was put on screen
Than the PlayStation 5 original, which is a nice surprise because the PlayStation 4 Pro was definitely bigger and thicker. What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the slim model and pop it in. And also, it may be that a lot of people choose to prefer the digital version now, considering that there's also Wi-Fi 7, and the size of the drive is now bumped up to 2 terabytes.
Okay, so far we're just being told things we already know.
Which is the same speed as the SSD in the previous models. Same CPU too, but the GPU is a lot beefier. It's supposed to be 67% more powerful. And
No. It's 45% more powerful. They clarified it's got 67% more processing cores, 28% more on like the base clocks or whatever, which equals out to 45%. I hope he clarifies that.
And 38% faster, and it's...
And now he's saying 38%. Wait a second. Did Mark Cerny lie? Now it's 38%. What is happening? Maybe CNET just messed up. It could be an editing error. I don't know.
Going to...
Pretty sure it was 28%, but...
to provide better performance for all the games and a lot more things like ray tracing.
I'm assuming this was an honest mistake because they said 28% in the presentation.
There's also a big focus on upgrade.
He didn't even bring up the 45% part, which is what they actually said. It's a 45% increase in performance overall.
Upgrading the resolution of existing games. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution is the technology that uses an AI neural upscaling using a convolutional neural network to basically just make sure the games play really nicely.
This is such an Apple bullshit. Look at this room. Look, this is a nice room, but this is a giant room for one demo system. Let's think about this for a moment. This massive fucking room, all for one demo system, super clean looking. It's a very Apple-like. They're giving the media a very Apple-like personalized experience. Nothing wrong with that per se, but this is definitely like a very Apple-like thing.
In 4K. And speaking of 4K, existing PlayStation 5 games, they always had 2 modes, which was either 1080p, 60 frames per second, or 4K.
By the way, this is what people were flying into Washington for, Washington, D.C. They were flying in for PlayStation 5 Pro to go hands-on.
30 frames per second. So
for anyone who saw that story and thought it was, oh, Nintendo, no, it was Sony flying people in to do PlayStation 5 Pro previews.
Sony's now offering a Pro mode that glues both of those together, and so you're getting both 60 frames per second and 4K. Now, that's exactly what I would have wanted to play in the first place. If you're interested in doing things like 8K gaming, or you want to do things like 120 frames per second, there are capabilities for games to do that, but those are going to be on a game-by-game basis. The real push here...
So is 4K if you're going without upscaling, to be fair. If you're doing raw 4K, that's still a game-to-game basis, too.
Is for really nice 4K 60 frames per second across the board for your entire library. What does this mean for the future of PlayStation?
I mean, that's a little bit of a bold claim. 4K across the whole library? I mean, it's going to be through upscaling.
To talk to Mark Cerny, lead systems architect for PlayStation, and Hideaki Nishina-san, CEO of Platform for Sony Interactive Entertainment. They talked about how, in a lot of ways, PC gaming right now is providing a kind of an on-ramp for some of these technologies, but also allowing Sony to lead a bit.
Providing an on-ramp, motherfucker, you're using PC components. Sorry, I'm like, oh, PC's providing an on-ramp. Dude, you're literally using PC components. Come on.
With some things like ray tracing, where they're using an AMD-developed ray tracing technology that isn't even in existing GPUs. Some of that will kind of ride ahead, and other things.
Ray tracing that's not... Did Sony actually tell this guy that it's ray tracing that's not in existing GPUs? Motherfucker, my 4080 Super has better ray tracing than whatever the fuck they're doing in this system. What are we talking about, man? What are we... Ray tracing that doesn't exist.
It's like maybe more advanced graphics that you might be used to on PCs will finally have a chance to come over to PlayStation 5 Pro. And as a lot of games now are increasing...
Oh my God, are they calling out the PCs? Is Sony calling out PC right now? The graphics and ray tracing you get on PC will now finally be here on PlayStation 5. Are they calling out PC gamers right now, saying that PlayStation 5 Pro can replicate what PC can do? Good luck.
Cross-platform, and
luck.
Sony.
The PC master race is gonna fucking go to town on these claims.
These games live on PCs, you'll probably see much more of that cross-pollination. Clearly a fidelity push for people who may have really big TVs or really...
Yeah. If you're someone that has like the 100-inch TV, you know, those like $15,000, $20,000 TVs, like, yeah, the extra pixels and the extra resolution gains from the PSSR, like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Like, I can see why, but again, you're someone buying a $20,000 TV. So to you laugh at the idea this is a $700 system. So
big AV lovers and want something that either looks the best it can be or runs really smoothly. On the big screens that I played on, you could definitely see the difference. But if you're a PlayStation 5 owner, I think you could also be fine continuing to play the PlayStation 5.
Hey, someone being honest. He said, hey, man, if you own PS5, just play PS5.
There are going to be about 50 games that come out at launch with upgrades specifically for the PS5 Pro. Now, while a lot of them will involve the introduction of this new Pro mode that will be able to run at a smooth 60 frames per second and 4K performance, there are going to be others that do other things. It could be graphic upgrades to the environment, more people in the environment. So that's a console. Let's go play the games. This is Sony's PlayStation demo room where I got to try out the PlayStation 5 Pro on a bunch.
Oh yeah, the war is totally going to start. If Sony's actually marketing that you can now get PC level fidelity on PS5 Pro, the PC enthusiasts are going to be like, motherfucker, I got a fucking 4090. What the fuck you talking about?
Bunch of games in two different setups. The first one got to play on two different monitors, checking.
It's just going to happen. The PC master race is going to obliterate these claims.
Out a whole bunch of games on the PlayStation 5 and then the PlayStation.
This is why you should never compare your consoles to PC. I'm just as like a general statement. You should never compare home consoles to PC. Not in any meaningful way. If you want to like compare like, oh, we're using some technology PC uses, fine. But like, you should never compare the way your games are going to look and play to PC. It's just not a winning argument. You can argue price to performance if you want, but it's just not an overall winning argument to make.
PlayStation 5 Pro, looking at the two different play modes.
I was going to say, is this PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 5 Pro? I know I'm looking at it through the lens of a camera, but if it is, it's like, well, okay. The fog of war is a little less than one.
Fidelity and performance on the 5, and then the Pro mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro.
It is. So the difference I see here, I know this is just a camera looking at a TV. So this is PlayStation 5. This is the PlayStation 5 Pro mode for Horizon Forbidden West. The only real differences I see just from here is it looks like the saturation. No, the sharpness is turned up. It looks like the sharpness is turned up. Notice how everything's a little darker? It's a little bit darker. You know, this back here is a little bit darker. A little bit darker in here. A little bit darker over here. A little bit darker down here. She's a little bit darker. This looks like sharpening's been turned up. Which, by the way, you can do that to make things look better on Switch. The Witcher 3 added a setting on Switch, a sharpening thing. You can crank sharpening all the way up, and it does make things look better. But that's not something you need a more powerful system to do. You just need a slider to turn sharpening up. This just looks like the sharpening's been turned up. I'm sure more is going on. And this is off-screen footage with this isn't really a great representation. You need direct feed capture, side-by-sides. But
fidelity and performance.
By the way, direct feed capture with the same capture card. I've seen like if you have like an Elgato HD60, which is that's not the best way to compare this. You're gonna want a 4K capture. But when you put them side by side, I've seen like even if you use different capture cards, sometimes there's differences between capture card fidelity. So, anyways, not the best way to compare. This is just kind of a look at some off-screen footage.
On the 5, and then the Pro mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's Horizon Forbidden West. And then I got to play a few games.
Your 3070? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say PlayStation 5 is equivalent to a 3070. I don't know if I buy that. I'd have to see some actual comparisons.
On a big 80-inch screen, including Gran Turismo 7, which has an 8K mode, or alternately, one with ray tracing turned on.
So what they're doing here with Gran Turismo is they're saying you can either play in 8K, which probably runs at 30 FPS, or you can play in 4K with ray tracing. Is that what he's trying to say? I mean, that's kind of interesting. Does the 8K mode matter if you don't have an 8K? How many people have an 8K TV? What is the cheapest 8K?
Which is
TV?
what I've got.
Like legitimately, what is the cheapest? Like, can someone Google it quick? What's the cheapest 8K TV you can get?
Right here. I mean, this is obviously the version I would want to play.
Which, by the way, usually like the cheap 8K TVs, they're not they're not worth it. You're missing key features, but I believe the cheapest is still really fucking expensive.
It is. The reflections and ray tracing are beautiful. I got really into playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I love games like this. What's really fun is that it's just such a fast game, and I feel like the Pro makes it feel faster. So I'm grabbing one controller that's connected to a PS5, playing on a PS5 for a bit, and then I would jump back and forth between that and a PS5 Pro to see what it's like. This is the 4K 30 frames per second version of Horizon Forbidden.
Yeah, I will say. Yeah, he's very close to the TVs. I will say that 30 FPS and 60 FPS is more felt when you play than looking at a screen. I do just want to note that. Like 30 FPS and 60 FPS, it's about how it feels when you play rather than what it looks like on a screen. So it's very hard to show and explain the differences between 30 and 60 because it's a gameplay feel. So, like if it's a consistent 30 and a consistent 60, it's really the gameplay feel. And that's just really hard to convey through a video.
Forbidden West, which I'm used to and looks really good. But what looks even better is playing it 4K 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro.
Saying 4K 60 frames per second looks better. No. 60 FPS plays better. Come on, man. Come on. 60 FPS is about play.
Pro, which looks buttery smooth and really crisp. So
it feels buttery smooth. Come on, man. Come on.
So
just use the correct terminology. That's all I'm asking.
It is like going back and playing it on the 30 frames. It's kind of hard to do because this looks really nice. Unfortunately, Sony didn't let us do any direct capture of the PlayStation 5 Pro during our demos at Sony's headquarters. And they didn't
Wait a second.
let us do any close-up, real extended looks at the gameplay on screen either.
Wait a second. Sony would not let them direct capture. Sony also wouldn't let them line up their camera to shoot at the TV properly? What? Sony, why won't you let people direct capture? Why won't you? What? This thing comes out soon, but you won't let people direct capture. But it's not even that they won't let them direct capture. They won't even let them line up the camera correctly. I've gone to demo events. They always let you line up the camera. You just got to have a smidge of your shoulder in the shot so it shows a real person playing it. That's always been the requirement. But you can still line up the camera just right to get a really good look at it on screen. Sony's not letting you do that, and they're not letting you direct capture? Is it even a PlayStation 5 fucking Pro? Or is it a PC? Notice how in none of these shots we see none of these shots have the system out. Look at this. Look. None of the shots have the system out. I don't think they're playing on the final hardware. Did you have media come out to a system that comes out in 2 months and you didn't have them play on final hardware? It's not out. The system's not here. It's down here in this fucking box. Oh my God. Yeah, they're using a PC. That's why they're not letting you direct capture, because you would, when you go to plug into direct capture, you'd realize it's not the fucking Pro. It's a PC. Dude, PS5 Pro. Dude, this thing launches in 2 months. How do you not have final hardware for media to... So you did a media preview that's irrelevant because they're not using final hardware. Got it. Jesus Christ, man.
Demos at Sony's headquarters. And they didn't let us do any close-up, real extended looks at the gameplay on screen either.
Why?
But hopefully you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about for when the system debuts on November 7th. What does this mean for the future of next-gen gaming? Well, that's hard to tell because we're not maybe fully in next-gen gaming yet, but we're getting there by increments. PlayStation 5 Pro is the hottest of the new gaming technology.
They don't have to have a PC port. It's their game. Games are developed on PC. They're made through a computer. So they have versions of it that run on PC. They just haven't released a PC version. That's all.
Technology tech that we've seen, and it's adopting some ideas that PC gaming still doesn't have yet. It'll be really interesting.
It's got features PC gaming. Wait, did he just say it has features PC gaming doesn't have? Hold on.
Some ideas that PC gaming still doesn't have yet. It'll be really interesting gaming yet, but we're getting there by increments. PlayStation 5 Pro is the hottest of the new gaming technology tech that we've seen, and it's adopting some ideas that PC gaming still doesn't have yet.
What? Hold on. And this might just be his opinion, but is this a Sony talking point? What technologies is it adopting that PC doesn't have? PC has ray tracing. PC has AI upscaling. PC has the faster RAM. What technologies are we talking about? They have faster SSDs. There are faster SSDs than what's in a PlayStation. Come on. This feels like he's reading off a PR sheet.
It'll be really interesting to see where games start.
By the way, I'm not trying to discredit CNET because I obviously don't know. They're clearly very limited in what they're able to say and show. Sony's very much controlling the narrative around this system. Very much, they're very much like locking down, like controlling what people can say, basically, which is never a good look.
To evolve and get better along with PS5 Pro graphics, but also where the PS5 Pro ray tracing and all of that tech begins to hint at where technology is going to be headed for PC gaming to come.
He just said ray tracing's a hint at where PC technology is going to. Ray tracing's been around since 2020. 2019. What are we talking about? It's a hint at... Oh my God, I'm getting rage fest now, dude. Like 2018, yeah, man. Dude, ray tracing's been around for like 6 years. It's not new anymore. It's hinting where PC technology is going to go with ray trace. What the fuck are you talking about, man? PC's got so much better ray tracing already. Ray tracing's been around for so long. Oh man. Anyways, sorry. That might have been it. I hope that was just his personal opinion and I hope that was not a Sony talking point. I'm sorry. I just have to. Is there any other PlayStation 5 demos we can look at? Because here's the thing. That's just one. I want to verify some of this guy's claims. There's got to be another. CNET can't be the only place. There's got to be at least one more preview out right now. There's got to be at least one. Oh, man. Even, dude, we all know that Dreamcast guy loves PlayStation, and even he's not happy. Even he is not happy with what PlayStation 5 Pro is. You know it's bad when one of your biggest fanboys is not happy. When one of your biggest fanboys is not happy, oh boy. I haven't even seen the greater internet. This has got to be amazing to watch. Okay, no, we got to find. There's got to be someone else. Someone else has to have a demo. Is CNET the only place? Wait a second. Did CNET get exclusive hands-on released today? Oh shit! I'm not seeing any other previews. They have the exclusive. Man, that had to cost some money to get to be the exclusive early preview. I mean, other people got to preview it. You want me to play what Dreamcast guy's video? You can play Dreamcast guy's video. Why not? This is one of the rare times we're focused on PlayStation. Let's watch a PlayStation fan's reaction.
Well, let's talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro, because they just officially revealed it, and yeah, it's not great, but let's discuss.
It's not great.
Hi, I'm Dreamcast guy.
He sounds
if
depressed.
you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like.
It's just a
and
soft tone of voice.
Subscribe if you haven't already. So, it's real. I just decided to do a live stream of the event of Mark Cerny explaining the difference between the current PlayStation 5 and this upgraded PlayStation 5 Pro. And to say I'm underwhelmed would be a drastic understatement. I think the PlayStation 5 is doing fine. I know a lot of people like to hate on the PlayStation 5 because it doesn't have enough games. A lot of people are straight up saying, okay, so Sony isn't even doing that much, and yet they're doing a mid-gen refresh. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, Twitter comments. You notice I don't make a lot of videos on like Twitter hate comments, and it's fine. I know Player Essence does it too. He makes videos a lot on stuff people say on Twitter. I focus more on like the rumors and the news, but you know, I understand. Sometimes content's dry. You got to bring in some fan comments from the Twitterverse.
People saying, why are they releasing this? It's just something that people have to justify to themselves. I mean, Sony tried to sell a game no one wanted. Now they're selling a PlayStation 5 Pro that nobody wants. When I saw a lot of that, I initially kind of disagreed, because I do like my PlayStation 5. I'm playing Astro Bot. I'm doing some secret reviews right now of upcoming PlayStation 5 games, but this side-by-side comparison, they said this is more than just a standard graphics bump or improved amount of frame rate. Mark Cerny explained that the Pro has a 3-point plan inside of it: larger GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI-driven upscaling, essentially meaning that it's able to just make games where you're often having to choose between performance mode, which gives you better frame rates, and ray tracing mode, which gives you a lot better graphics. They said the point of this is to do both. And I think that in some ways they have achieved that. This does look a little bit
advanced
better,
ray tracing.
But even after watching that stream in 4K and actually pretty much counting pixels with my own old man eyes, this does not seem like that big of a leap. And additionally, this is the biggest deal breaker. $700. $700. And this looks like a digital edition. I don't even see a disc drive, which means there might be an $800 physical edition.
No, they're not going to have a physical edition. You just have to buy the disc drive.
Now, I'm reacting to this right after it came out. Maybe they're going to actually announce some sort of cheaper version. Maybe this does come with a disc drive and the camera angle's just funky. But it does seem like this is $700 for a digital PS5 that, while it does look better, it looks like it looks maybe 10% better. Now,
he said it. I didn't even go that far, but he said it. 700 for 10%.
Some of the games they initially teased were things like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth getting a...
I did to see Dreamcast guy this upset about it, knowing that he's a massive PlayStation fan. By the way, nothing wrong with that. But coming from the perspective of someone who is like major into PlayStation the way I am into Switch, man, it really feels like Sony missed the boat.
Graphical boost, which is a game I like a lot, and that game definitely had some performance issues, so I'm happy they did it. But I must admit I am conflicted because I review a lot of hardware. I specifically love to review a lot of PlayStation hardware. I did review.
By the way, I will note one of our topics on the podcast this week will be the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm just going to note that is one of our topics this week. We don't usually dabble into anything not Nintendo, but console, new improved like hardware consoles are so rare. As I mentioned, the last time we had announcements was 2019, 2020, that it will be a topic on the show. But the show's mostly about Nintendo. We'll swing it to be the Switch 2 related thing.
Reviews of the PlayStation 5 Slim. I did reviews of the PlayStation Portal. I even reviewed the $200 PlayStation 5 controller they released. So I want to get this to make some content with it, but I almost kind of don't want to. The same way I skipped the PlayStation VR 2 because that was like $550 and just didn't seem worth it. $700. I mean, more than anything else, I'm kind of just stuck on that price. I mean, what are the replies? Sheesh. Yeah. Skip it. I mean, yeah, I laughed out loud. Hold on. I want to click Wario64 here and actually see if we're getting any sort of updated PS5. God, it's just so expensive. Disk drive for the PS5 Pro is $80. God. The PS5 Pro is a diskless console, includes a 2 terabyte hard drive. Pre-orders begin on September 26th from PlayStation Direct and retailers. So I guess I have 16 days to think about it, but I mean, I feel like I am the target demographic. Now, what I mean...
Yes, you are. The Dreamcast guy, you probably are the target demographic. I would say this is targeted to PlayStation's most hardcore fans.
By that is I am a hardcore gamer that plays like 80 games a year. I'm constantly beating stuff and making content, and it's not only my job, it's my passion. Literally every single day I'm buying stuff and playing stuff, even freaking Balatro and Vampire Survivors and just a trillion things from indie to mainstream. I care about this industry, and I love buying crap to look as good as possible. And let's face it, I play a lot on my PS5. I am essentially the target demographic of this, and I just can't possibly care about it. Like, I am the person that I feel like should be excited to buy this. I mean, theoretically, like, wow, it's more graphics for the PS5. The fact that it's diskless, I mean, I'm almost having just a crisis here because Sony has been handing out L's. I've been reporting on this, like Concord costing them like $150 million and just utterly bombing and then doing mass refunds for it. And now this, I just don't know what Sony thinks. Like, there have been studies that there is a luxury gamer ecosystem. There are people that have enough liquid income that if they're buying something, they want to have the best possible version of it. If you're buying an Xbox, you get the Xbox Series X.
This is very prevalent in the PC space. Like, people that just have an insane amount of money. Like, this is a very expensive computer that I showed off earlier that I built, but it's for work. It was a work investment. would I have built this nice of a computer if it wasn't a work investment? I probably couldn't, because I wouldn't be able to justify the money. I could only justify it because it's a work expense. I can write a lot of it off. And literally, I use it every day for work. You guys see it with my live streams. I'm using it for that. I do edit some content on it. So it's one of those situations where, like, a normal consumer that's looking just to buy a luxury item for fun, can they justify, you know, spending that kind of money? A lot of people are going to say no, just like they would say no to a computer like this. But there are a select group of people where money's not really an object to them. They don't worry about money. Money's never a concern. They don't got to worry about their bills. Everything's taken care of. So they have all that extra money just sitting around that they can just get the best of the best.
Buying it.
To be fair, you could save up as well. Like, if you ever know you want to build a dream PC, you want to build like a $5,000, $10,000 PC, you could save up that money over time and then just buy the latest and greatest at the time that you have the money. People do that as well. That's just being smart and saving money. That's how people can save money up to buy a house and buy a car. So, like, for anything you really, really want, you could save money over a number of years to eventually do it. But, yeah, there are people that just don't give a shit. Oh, hey, we have a new $1,000 system in Europe for PlayStation. Not a problem. Pre-order day one. You can just take that out of my toilet paper fund.
A controller, you want to get the most elite pro crazy programmable triggers, super weirdo, like ultimate crazy controller. I know those people exist, but I feel like catering to that demographic, trying to make a console, God, this would be $800. $800 if you buy this and the
Well, I'm assuming people like that have like gold-plated toilet paper at this point.
disk drive. I feel like Sony should have said something else. I feel like they should have said, oh, and we're doing a state of play coming up next week. You're going to show a bunch of games that are running on the PlayStation 5. Do more to hype the Pro. This was a 9-minute presentation, so I didn't expect tons of like side-by-side analysis or crazy deep dives, but what was the plan? Maybe I'm...
Isn't it sad, Andre BX39, that at $500, the Switch 2 would still kind of sound cheap after this? I think it's going to be $399, but because Nintendo cares about mass market appeal with their pricing. And I think $399 is still mass market appeal, but...
just a boomer, but $700 seems so ridiculously expensive. Like, I can afford it, but like, as a person that has a PlayStation 5, when I went from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 4 Pro, there was a noticeable change in performance. I'm almost...
Agreed. PlayStation 4 Pro, it did have a noticeable leap. It wasn't like a next generation, but it was a pretty noticeable leap. If you had a 4K TV, the PlayStation 4 Pro just felt like a massive leap from the PlayStation 4. That, I do agree with that assessment.
Almost thinking that when I get the PlayStation 5 to the PlayStation 5 Pro, will I even notice a difference? I've got a pretty big 4K TV that's in very good new condition and stuff like that, but even then, am I really going to...
Houndy PNG is like, the worst part is the fact the PlayStation Pro is $800. Okay, obviously you're getting into the euros, 800 euros. Well, I guess if you include taxes in the US. Anyways, and 30% better, but that 30% is with upscaling. It's not 30% raw performance better, 30% with upscaling. Yeah.
To be that wowed over the current, already good graphics of the PlayStation 5. I don't know who this is for. I am shocked, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Maybe I'll still pre-order this, but as it currently stands, I'm more confused than excited. I can honestly say I don't think I'm excited at all. I mean, I feel like I have almost negative excitement. I feel like the excitement that I did feel has been sucked out of my slutty eyes. But
did he just say sucked out of his slutty eyes? Dreamcast, how kind of line is that? Sucked out of my slutty eyes. Well, for now on, Dreamcast guy, for now on, your nickname is Slutty Eyes, all right? Anytime I interact with you in public, I'm going to call you Mr. Slutty Eyes.
What do you guys think about this? Tell me.
Dreamcast guy, Slutty Eyes.
Your thoughts in the comments down below, and please keep
Dreamcast slutty eyes guy.
Amen. And thanks to everybody that tuned into my live stream. I think it was one of my biggest live streams ever. And a lot of super chats. I kept saying this much. Next.
Oh, he was just thanking people for the super chat stuff. All right, cool. Oh man. Man, you know Sony's missed the ball if one of their biggest fans is like, no. Basically, no. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this stream. We'll be back again tonight at 8 p.m. For just our members. I got to get some videos done. I'm actually overdue on my shake. I'm like an hour past due on my shake. So I got to go have my shake as part of my diet. You guys are awesome. I will see you later today. This stream will stay up. It's an event stream. That's what we do.